Alrighty, Roo, and cuckoo to you and all my nobodies not watching. We're getting close. We're getting close to the end. We're almost there. Just hold on. Just hold on, my nobodies. We're almost there. No, not that button. Exactly. So do you see, Tobias? It's nothing like the current arrangement. It's quite the opposite. Wiping the slate clean. No, it's very similar. It's in some ways it's worse. So the difference is you're not blood. The two aren't. You would be assumably the prince, and he would assumably be the baron. There would be a uneasy but held ceasefire, not a full ass peace treaty, but it would be one of those things like that's negotiable later. But if you guys do the thing, it would make sense for you to not. For all we're aware of, from my perspective, I'm just saying, you could have deliberately embraced him, known about all this other stuff as a long-term plan to hopefully play out where he would come into power and be a threat to Callahan. Because Callahan sucks. And you don't like him. Nobody likes Callahan. Was Panhard or whatever. I don't even... We don't really know much about them. But they got Prince somehow. But honestly, how we don't... I don't know. Or I don't remember. Usually when you get Prince, it's like... It's not necessarily that you earned it. It's that you kind of got... You either schemed and schemed the right way where other people failed, and then there was a lot of fucking Game of Thrones shit. And at the end of the body pile, you were on top. And enough bodies were piled that nobody wanted to fuck around anymore. So you're just like, haha! You're sort of trying to be the prince. You're trying to instate him as the baron. But the reality is, he's like your child, and even if you guys have not been exactly close for a while, it could have totally been a long game thing. And no, you're like, oh, well, just because we're not fucking, he's not bloodbound. It's like, no, he's not. That's definitely worn off by now. To my knowledge, you guys could be quietly sort of doing that. I don't know. I doubt it, but it's possible. That said, assumably no. And you're just trying to be like, it's not the same thing. It's like, it's actually a worse thing in some way, because using bloodbound is like something like you don't have to. Okay, so you can trick somebody into becoming bloodbound, but usually it's sort of like a willing thing that sort of becomes unwilling. And you could be like, oh yeah, no, I'll let you do this if you do this, and it's like bloodbound. It seems like you're basically gonna fill the same spot the same way. Only it's worse because that's your child. So you got a Toreador and a Toreador. Child and sire. As Baron and Prince. Anarch and that. And it's like, it seems like, oh no, it's just it's a temporary ceasefire, not like a peace treaty, but it's like, it's gonna be that way. You don't have to bloodbound this person. You know that they're logical enough to be like, what makes sense is not fighting. So, you know? But alright, you can say whatever you like, and I'm just part of it. And also, I don't really know Panhandle, whatever, Panhard, whatever. I don't know them. I really don't. I barely interact with them. I don't like Callahan. He's an asshole. If I could, I'd definitely fuck over Kaiser, but I don't think that's an option. I just do want to. But it is what it is. You know, after all those years spent in Callahan's shadow and taking part in all kindred dick measuring contests, I should admit, I should expect a ruse, some ploy to kill me in an out of the way place. It's like, dude, I really don't see that happening here. I feel like fighting you would have a good chance. Like, maybe she would beat you, but I don't think her aspects would beat you. Or her presence. So, I think you'd get past it, and then I would probably be the one that's fucking frozen by aspects, and then I would just sort of maybe be at best spared by you. I don't see it working in my favor. This is not, I'm not here to help kill you. If that's the case, if she asked me to do it, I'm not gonna. That's our inherent paranoia talking. My gut tells me it's time to get this show started. Exactly. I do hope you have a boat nearby, Langley. Sophie smiles mischievously. Of course I do. It's waiting outside for us by the pier. Lead the way then. Moonlight's burning. Three of you leave the apartment and walk. What happened to Mia? Nobody seems to be following you. You got a small patrol boat and double time, and it's through the Hudson's cold, dark water. But what did happen to Mia? I would have preferred if Mia was here. For real. Like, real talk. Like, I'm worried that she wants him dead so that Mia can take the place, and that's like a deeper thing. But that doesn't make sense based on the context. Out of all the places in NYC where the Prince and the Baron could meet, it's Ellis Island, a landmark with a dark past, a museum on one hand, a dilapidated piece of history on the other. Leave the boat and make your way to the southern part of the island, paying no heed to the renovated tourist attractions on the northern side. You expected some resistance, a night guard, a helicopter flying overhead, maybe an NYPD patrol boat. Nothing. The island seems completely deserted. It's clear this set Sophie on edge. She's moving as quietly and subtly as ever, but you can see she's eager to reach the particular house her intel pointed out. I'm going to take a second and look at the background. Is there some deeper meaning here? Looking. There's definitely an eye over in the left corner, but it's hidden by a fog that's lifting, or clouds or whatever. I don't really see too much. There's the green in the background. That green area where there's like boats and stuff. That's weird. Replay the duck noise. I feel like there is stuff here, but I'm not seeing it. Looking. There's a weird curvature to the right side of the forest thing here, which probably relates to the monocle of that one guy. Why I automatically assume that, I don't know. I don't know, he had something to do with green. No, wait, no, so did Callahan. And he had something to do with circle, too. There's that middle spot where there's like trees that have like a little face over a door or a window that have two lighted windows. I'm not really seeing a lot here. I think that there is, and I just don't really care. Let's just move on. Torque is following suit, grimly determined, flashing his piercing gaze all over, still uncertain that this isn't some kind of con. Fucking, that's fair, dude. That's, like, wise. Finally you see it. Light coming from a window in one of the buildings at the edge of the island. Three of you slowly creep to the building and take a look inside the window. There it is, Callahan kneeling in front of the prince, sucking on Panhard's wrist, both fully clothed, a small blessing. Okay, so, like, I get what you're saying here. It's sort of like, oh, they're not naked. It's like, there's no need to be naked, and nudity doesn't mean the same thing to vampires in the world of darkness that it does to, like, humans. Like, it just genuinely doesn't. Like, it just doesn't. Like, I don't know how else to say that other than it doesn't, and different clans look at it differently. But overall, in general, most clans look at nudity as, or any form of sexuality, as a weapon, a tool, a thing. If you wear less clothes, you can use that to seduce others. That's it. Like non-vampires, or also vampires, but more against non-vampires. It's not about, there's no modesty. They don't feel that way, just the way they don't feel particularly sexual. So that's a weird thing to say. Torque makes his move, and before Sophie can stop him, he busts through the buildings. Okay, well, let's, alright, I guess we're going loud then. It all happens very quickly. Torque grabs Callahan by the shoulders and throws him through the still open door. Callahan hits the ground hard. Torque appears on top of him and starts punching. Torque, you had the drop on him. You used your initiative. You used your surprise round to break down a door and grab him. And you didn't stake him, you didn't hurt him, you just threw him. Did minimal damage, you threw him outside. It's not like there's the sun or some shit. You're gonna, like, you didn't throw him onto some, like, okay, fine, you're just gonna start punching him. That's stupid. You fucker. You piece of shit. Prince Panhard. Stop! The prince's voice takes hold, just long enough to make Torque relent, which the Baron uses to the fullest. He shoves Torque off himself and tries to bite down. Oh, so he's just like, and that's enough. Nah. Prince, call off your lapdog. Langley, what is the meaning of this? I mean, the two anarchs break apart, both wounded, but neither is quite done yet. They look at each other with pure hatred. It's like, what is the meaning of this? It's like, fuck you! What is the meaning of this? Like, seriously, pics sent to everyone. Group chat. Explain. What, can you? Oh, wait, no, you can't. Okay, so you're kind of fucked. Like, for fucking real. justify what's going on here. You can't. Or you can only do it when somebody's right there and you can use your powers on them. Yeah, no. Fuck you. Kill the bitch, Helen. Helena? But leave the fledgling to me. Right after I deal with this shit stain, I really hope I get to fuck your shit up. But you know what fucking pisses me off about all this? Kaiser is probably behind everything, and he's the one that's gonna win over everybody. A shrill, unpleasant laugh fills the air. You know who it belongs to. Oh, hey, it's that one guy. I hate this one guy, but it's whatever. So entertaining. Truly, it almost feels a shame to break up the spectacle, but alas. Thomas? Who in the fuck is this joker? Wow, you don't even know about this guy? Even I've met this asshole. Oh yes, I don't think we've met. Although, I do hear lots about you, Mr. Toro. My name is Thomas O'Toro, and Callahan uses this moment of uncertainty to strike. He's still too slow for Torque, who throws the boss onto the lawn where the two exchange blows. Again, the throwing. Are you like a wrestler? Do you practice in judo? Like, fucking do the job, dude. Ahem. Elena, if you'd be so kind as to ask your friend not to hurt our guests too much. Callahan, don't kill him. Okay, well. Now I'm like worried because I thought that we had the advantage. This time Callahan comes out on top and grabs Torque and an iron hold. Your companion struggles but can't quite break away. Could I please just celerity and grab that guy's face and just wrench? I will not be denied, Helena. Not this time. You will do as I command, and she will do as I command her. Douglas, oh boy. Well, my hate for you is definitely justified, and so be it. What? Like I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. I feel like I need to break up this little spectacle. It's been going on for much too long. You think you're so smart, Langley, you and your clique. I figured out that there was something fishy going on, all on your own, but you're always working with just a piece of the puzzle. The sad thing is I still dislike this guy more than Callahan or Kaiser. And I never really had anything against Panhard. They just sort of existed. Like, they never really gave me a reason other than they would kill me. Wasn't she, Tobias? Wait, what? Am I some MK Ultra motherfucker or what? What was going on? Sophie looks to you shocked and disappointed. Hey, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking. I don't know what he's talking about. What are you talking about? This is not happening. I don't know what he's talking about. Should I call him out? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm on her side, more so. I don't know what I'm talking about. Of course you don't. Of course. How could you? Only I knew. And your sire. They're the ones who agreed to embrace you. After some negotiations. You hear a scream and a curse. It's Callahan, whose arm has been nearly ripped off his body. Torque breaks out of Baron's grasp, but doesn't continue the attack. Said he's at the edge of the water in the blink of an eye and disappears into the Hudson. The only trace of him left is his fedora. Wait, what? He rips off the guy's arm and then just dipsets. Another actor going off script at the very end. No. Let him bring us some amusement now that the production is almost wrapped up. He'll reach his allies. He'll tell everyone of what. So did he like rip off the guy's arm and then just decide I don't have the strength of will to fight like beyond what's going on here? I got my win in and I'm gonna just get out. And it's a hassle to try to chase somebody through the water. Helena, even if we naively assume his nights aren't numbered now, that he's in SI sights, this show must go on one way or another. Won't hurt to encourage leaks and speculation. Sophie looks at you. How could you? What did I do? Don't know. I didn't. What? Suddenly appears next to her and slaps her in the face. Okay, I don't like that. I didn't do anything against her. I didn't necessarily 100% stand by her side. But there's a difference between betraying her and, like, wow, they just believe they must be more powerful than you. Okay, fine. Langley. What happened to your self-esteem? You can't really think a simple neonate outplayed you. Or maybe this oblivious act is your way of groveling for mercy? Thomas, what? I told you that guy. I told you he was an asshole. You thought that being an expert chess player would always be enough. He never realized that people at top simply flip the chessboard over and punch you in the face whenever they don't like how the game is going. Well, alright, that's that. He motions to the remaining kindred. But the thing is, you weren't even adept at playing the game you knew. Tobias, just another pawn placed on the board by my associate. You thought they were your piece since you took them in, but who gave you that idea? You returned to the night where you were judged by the Prince Baynard, the women in red, Sophie speaking, a man in glasses, man before. The man, yeah. This is cruel. We know what's going to happen. If only somebody would speak up for the poor child. They could be a useful tool for the Camarilla. You've taken the position above fucking that one guy. I would rather Pez dispenser you now. Terror creeps onto Sophie's face. Of course, those are not the words you heard, were they? No, you were already grasping for some opportunity to further your scheme. I put the bait out and you took it. Hook, line, and sinker. You know what, Kaiser? He can do his own thing. And he's still probably the one who's coming out on top of everything, waiting for us to just Mexican standoff and pew 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 bang bang. You know, but I'm more mad at you now. After that, it was only a matter of time before you started using Tobias as your errand boy. No one is quite as easy to track and monitor as a naive fledgling who's just learning the ropes. Maybe I should have, you know, done something about being followed. What is that you want, Tom? What is it that you want, Thomas? What do I want? Oh boy, the answer is so simple, but so hard to put into words. That's a person who probably speaks way too much. Shut the fuck up and just do it. Unstable stability, cutting edge tales and thrills and intrigue that push it to the limit. Push it to the limit. The limit! Past the point of no return. And I hope this motherfucker gonna burn. And then return you to the tried and tested status quo gently and validly. A system full of distractingly moving parts which simulate conflict so convincingly that its users never feel a need to direct their energy towards upsetting the system. Okay, actually, that's actually pretty brilliant. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't know what your clan is. If you're Malkavian or Toreador or something else, Tremere maybe, that's actually quite clever to be like, yeah. Everybody just spins their gears around, and it just ends up in the same place. It's all good. Achieving the eternal through the disposable. Building city that's like a ship of Theseus, constantly changing its parts, yet also maintaining the same purpose, serving the same goal at all times. Here's the answer to the ship of Theseus riddle. Ship of Theseus. The riddle is, you get the ship of Theseus. Oh wow, it's a ship and it's so important, but it starts to break down, so you take those pieces and you replace them. But you keep those pieces and you make another ship out of it. You literally move board by board and you make another one out of it. And eventually, at some point, you have to consider the fact that all the new ship of Theseus is 100% not the old one, and you have a replica or reassembled the original. And which one is the true one? You know, it's been damaged, it's been moved around. It's like, well, depending on the damage and other physical factors like that, there's other answers, but the real answer is yes. You have two. You have one that is effectively the repaired version. You have the original version. And then each time you do anything, you're creating a new version. It slowly gets sort of quote-unquote infected, is a good way to put it, by its, repair. Every time you do that, it starts to change. So you have thousands and thousands, effectively. I don't know how many pieces of wood or board make a ship, but according to the concept, that many. So you have, depending on where you're at the end of it, you have two ships and they're complete, and one's the original and one's as a result of it being replaced, and it's like not doing great because it's been damaged, and for whatever reason, it belongs in a museum. Or and you have the other one that is replaced and replaced and replaced. You got two. You got the old school, you got the new school, and it became a new one over and over and over and over. And the fact that it became a new one every single time is what people are missing. Same thing like you. It's like everybody, our body cells, they're like habitually pretty much replaced. Almost all the body cells are replaced every 7 years or so. It's the same thing, ship of Theseus, but you're actually the ship, so it's like, how do you feel? It's like, we change, people change, things change, time, blah 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 blah, but are you still the same thing? Yes and no. Yes and yes. Not that hard. These thought experiments, they're not that hard. People are just stupid. The prisoner's dilemma, the fucking trolley problem, pretty much everything. It's like, oh no, but if you choose this, it's bad. It's like, no, it's like, ask about the actual, if you know more information about the thing, that's it. You have to know more about it. Would I put, Einstein, it's like Einstein's the one on the trolley problem, and then there's just 4 or 5 fucking death row inmates on the other side? No, that's fucking stupid. Hit them. Sorry. Now that does put you responsible for the fact that he himself didn't really want to be okay with the fact that his math and